Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dora the Fluid Crafter, and in this video we are going to be doing a tutorial, and it's going to be for Dot's Inspiration Shop, which I will have all of her information linked down below, including the kits that I used. There's a kind of a variety here, and what I've done is I went ahead and cut out, to kind of speed this up, I went ahead and cut out some of the elements that I'm going to be using here, and then kind of ripped them up and things, collected some items that I wanted to use for this. I have a canvas here that I went ahead and did black gesso on, self-explanatory. If you guys don't have black gesso, that's okay. You can do it with white gesso also and then paint it black. That will work as well. And then this here was actually a CD, and all I did was put Prima's yellow rust paste on it, and then I put black gesso. And before, I dried it, but I didn't dry it all the way through, so that way when I put the stencil and the texture paste on here, it pulled a little bit of that black, so that way I didn't have to paint it, if that kind of makes sense. I kind of wanted to leave it black and white, and it's got a little hint of that yellow in there, which is wonderful. So I wanted to do a tutorial on how to layer or to display on a canvas when you're working with a canvas or doing mixed media, and kind of how I do it. I may do it different than some people, and that's okay. You do not have to go by what I say or what someone else says. You know, find your own way that works for you. But I'm doing this one here to just kind of show you how I do it personally. Maybe some of the things that I do might be a little bit easier for you, but like I said, just kind of find your area and what feels more comfortable for you. So I wanted to show you how I'm going to lay this out. So first thing I'm going to do is, now this is just a 5x7. Actually, it's a little bit shorter. It's just under 5x7, maybe like 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 or something like that. I'm not sure why it's offset, but it's supposed to be a 5x7. So anyways, we're going to start with this, and then I'm going to put this here in the middle, like this here. Actually, before I do that, I need to put my background pieces down. Now these here are these 4 pieces are from her mermaid journal kit, and it's got the blues and the browns, the black, it's got the white gesso, and it's very steampunkish. So I wanted to use these for some background pieces. What I've done is I've shrunk it down to a 5x7 printable, and so that way they fit on this canvas. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to take my black distress ink. When I bought this one, I'm not sure if you can see the actual ink pad on there. Do you see how it's misshaped? And it does not ink stamps very well. Very, very disappointed. I bought this off of someone on Macari, and I probably won't do that again. It's completely oversaturated. It was brand new, and it did come from them. I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm now using it to highlight the sides of my pages and stuff. So, I could still use it, but it's just, I don't know. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go around the edges here. And I'm not going to use I'm just going to do like this right here. And all I'm doing is just kind of giving the edges a little more grunge, to where they kind of stand out a little bit more. Like that. And doing it this way too is a little bit faster, a little bit easier, instead of trying to get what's the word I'm looking for, the daubers, like these here that we would use. You can always probably use a little makeup sponge as well, and I do have some makeup sponges, so you can always you know, dip your makeup sponge in there like that, and then, you know, go around the edges also. Only thing I don't like about the makeup sponges is sometimes it gets too much on there, and it just to me, it just kind of is a little overbearing, especially when I just want it to be right on the edge. So, I mean, you could probably not notice the difference right now, but when you do it yourself, you'll be able to notice the difference. So, okay, so there's those. Actually, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do these little pieces here as well. I'm not doing the back side because that will be actually under the paper, so we're just going to do those 3 sides. And then I'm going to take my vintage photo, and then I'm going to do the other pieces. Because I don't want it to be just black and white. I want it to also have that grungy, vintagey feeling as well. And I love steampunk. I love the colors in steampunk. I love the fact that it's mechanical, and it just, I don't know, it's very unique. It's been around for a really long time, and I like grungy stuff. I like florals and botanicals and stuff as well. I like some shabby chic, but I'm not a big shabby chic person. I'm not a really big girly girl. So maybe that's why I kind of am drawn to this more. So anyways, so now that I have that inked up, I'm going to lay down my background pieces. And for that, I'm going to use my Liquitex matte gel medium, so that way I can ensure that it stays down real nicely. And I need to pop this out because, quite frankly, I just don't like those paper pieces in here, because sometimes they will get discolored, and I don't know, I don't care too much for them, so I take them out if I'm able to, because I like using the lids sometimes. There we go. Actually, this is a plastic piece in here, but that's okay, we don't need it. Sometimes I like using the inside of the lids for, you know, to put down my, and we are just going to use this brush, and I like putting it here like this, so I can just put this beside where I'm working at without having to dip over top. And sometimes I drop it and spill it, and that's okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put these down, and I want to leave a little bit of a border here. Now I'm also going to put pieces down there as well, so, and then I'm just going to wipe over top. Now I did use an inkjet printer, so this may smudge a little bit. I am not too concerned. To me, it gives it a little more natural feel to it. Like that. And then I'm going to take the other one, and I'm going to put it down this way. And I again need to turn off my notifications so they're not blaring out. So I'm going to do that really fast. I apologize. Do not disturb is now on. Okay, and so now I have these two pieces down. And now what I want to do is I want to take my two black pieces here and I want to add these on. See, you can see why I use the lid, because if the color gets pulled up, I'm not dipping it back into that. And so now I'm just going to go onto the back here. Like so. I'm going to place this down here. It's okay if it sticks off the edge, I don't mind. Now we're going to do this one here. And how I like to do mine is the first thought that comes to my mind is where I put it. I don't try to overthink about where I'm placing my pieces, and so I just kind of just go with it. And so now I think I want to put this one maybe like that. I think I'm going to just, like I said, I'm just going to put it on the backs here so I'm not rubbing too much of that color off of the top. And of course, when you do your edges with the black oxide, it is water, it's water soluble, so it will kind of smear out as well, which is also fine by me, because I mean, you know, it gives it that little more grunge to it. So there's that. And then for this one here, I think I'm going to put that one just about maybe like this, but I think I'm going to cut some of this off, trim it down a little bit, yeah, like that. And I'm just pushing it down. There we go. And then I'm going to take my little towel here, my little paint towel. I'm just going to wipe out the lid because of the color. And then I'm just going to put that back on top. Get up my heat gun. I'll fast forward. Okay. Okay, now I also do the back side because I want to make sure that the back side stays dry as well. So now, now that I have that in the background, I'm going to, now this is going to be elevated up, but as you can see now, there is a cool background in there as well. So, we are going to now, now I know this has got a glare, so I'm going to put my hand over it, but I need to add something on the back of this to stick it up, and so I am going to use my my roll of, that one's not open yet, let's use this one, my roll of puffy foam tape, that's what it's called, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to use my foam tape for that. So let me sit that like that for a moment. I am going to pull out my my parchment paper, move that out of the way, slide some of this up, pull this down here. And what I'm going to do is, instead of moving stuff out of the way, as you can see I've got speckles everywhere, is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to cover around this area of where I don't want to drip anything. Okay, and so what I'm going to do now is, where is that at? I did something with it and now I don't know what I did with it. That's okay. I'll just use this one, not a big deal. Get my little pan here, and I have these liquid watercolors. I got them at Tuesday morning. They're in a previous home. They're by Artsy, and I really wanted to test them out, so we are going to do that. And it doesn't take much, just 1 or 2 drops. And it's just your basic green, red, and blue. And I accidentally dropped a little green in the blue one, so I may do the blue one over. So we'll do the blue one down here on the end. Okay, so that way, if that gets mixed up, it's, maybe we'll do a different color, who knows. Okay, and then I'm just going to get a small brush here, okay, like this, and I'm going to grab my chopsticks, and I am out of frame. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to take my spray bottle here, put it over like this so nothing gets wet, and I'm just going to spray some water in here. It gives it to where I can, it gives it a little bit more into the container. Anyways, I'm going to do blue first, and then I'm just going to tap it with my chopsticks. Now some of this is going to get covered, but you know, I want it to match the top when I do the top. Okay, and then now I'm going to do red. And then we're going to do green. That one's coming out really blotchy, but that's okay. And then this is the blue and green mixed, and I have no idea. It looks like it's going to be green, but it was blue. So it's like a bluish green color. Okay, so now if you get a little bit too much in a spot, don't hesitate to just kind of blop it. Oh, it turned it brown. Look at that. The red is actually like a bronzy color on here. You know what? Let me get a clean one and let's see if we can. Let's see. Oh, I don't know why. The red. Oh, I bet you it's because I didn't. That's actually kind of cool because it's like a rust color, which is really cool. So I'm going to do that around the edges here. Okay, alrighty, so now I'm going to dry that really fast and then I'll be right back. Put those back up there. That's done. Now we can I'll move that up just a little bit now, and I know there's a little glare, I apologize. So now I want to stick this down, okay, and so I'm going to start on the edges here, and let me grab my scissors. I try not to get too close so that way it's not seen when you put it down. but I want it to be sturdy enough to where when I push on it, it holds it down real nice. So I'm just going to press that down. We're just going to peel it up. And I just get my foam tape from the Dollar Tree. Works wonderful for me and what I do. You know, and another thing too is if you get it and you seem like it doesn't work for you, you can always add a little bit of glue on the back of it, a little bit of art glitter glue or something, and that will hold it as well. But I haven't had an issue with mine, so you know, if I can avoid paying $10 for something that I can get for $1, I will do that. So, okay. So, now that we have this, so now I'm just going to put this down in the position that I want it. And I'm going to go right there. And so it's not up really high, it just is up enough to where if I want to slide something back behind there, I'm able to do that, and it just kind of gives it a little 3D effect. And the background piece, you can see through the hole in the middle of the CD, which is also wonderful. Okay, so let's throw these in the trash. And now we'll start building our composition. And so the first thing I want to do is just kind of lay out a few of these gears and my little scissors that I painted with black gesso. And let's see. I think I'm gonna want I think I'm gonna want these on top like this. Okay, I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of laying stuff out here just to see where we can kind of place a few of these gears and whatnots. Be as random as you'd like to. I do want one of these on top of the scissors. I do like that one a lot. I think that looks good underneath. Okay, so I do want to put those there. Now I am going to use the matte gel again for this. Let me get a clean brush, a small one here. And I'm not going to be gluing down the whole gear. I'm just going to put enough on the tip here so when I slide it under it, it's not really seen too much, if that makes sense, kind of like that. And then I'm just going to slide it up underneath, about right there. We'll take off some of that came through. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to put that one up under there, like that. And just clean it up a little bit like that. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it and then do these two here. And I'm going to go ahead and work out my composition here while you guys are watching. I will speed it up a little bit, but not too fast, so that way you guys can still see fully what I'm doing and how I'm laying this out. And situating my gears. Okay, so I will be right back. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some of these clocks in some areas. Okay, so now we have a couple of clocks. Okay, so now what I also want to do before we go any further here is I want to add a couple of these pieces on top of these clocks to make them look more mechanical. And so let's do that really fast. And I'm just adding them in the middle. And when you're doing things like this, especially working with clocks that have numbers and stuff, a lot of people are worried about them being, you know, like the time, the hands, and I'd pay no mind to whether the 12 is up or the 12 is down. You know, it is what it is. I think it looks unique when they're upside down or sideways and things. It gives them more character to me. Okay, and so now I have these little mesh pieces, and I do want to put one of them here in the center, like this. So that way when I add on my, let's move that over just a little bit. When I add on my pieces here, like this. Now I'll put them up on pop dots and stuff. And well, I was gonna, you know what, we might just put that the other way. I think it might look better this way. Let's see. Under the scissors. Oh yeah, that looks great like that. Okay. And I do want the watch on this side, like so. And it's okay, a lot of people are afraid to cover up. Don't be afraid to cover up. It just gives it that uniqueness about it. So we are going to do that. And then we are going to have these like so. Like this and some other little elements. So yeah, I think that's going to look great. So let's go ahead and put this down here. this little jar here that I want to put on. I want that to go right there. Like that. And this paper clip here. Let me see here. Will it fit on there? No, it will not. Okay, we'll just not do that one, but that's okay. Then these little, they're like tops of buttons that I thought might add a little cool element. And so I want to put one there. Yeah, I want it to go there, but I may have to use a little bit of help here. There we go. Like that. It looks great. Okay. Now I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Alrighty, yay. Okay, so now we have all of that done. So now the next thing that I want to do is I want to pull my colors back out here. We're going to put that in some water. And before I do anything else, I want to take a piece of scrap paper here. I want to cover my guy so I don't accidentally splatter him, and then you won't be able to tell it's a guy. So I'm just going to cover him. Okay, I'm going to move all this other stuff up out of the way here. I'm going to bring my parchment paper and just lay down like that, so that way I don't hit anything that I don't want to. And let's see where we at here. Let's see. Let's do like that so you can see me. And again, I'm just going to take a small brush and my chopsticks. Okay. And I can't resist because there's nothing in there and it's driving me crazy. And so I am going to add 2 brown beads inside these little metal ones. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to just squirt some art glitter glue, and I'm just going to drop it down in there like that, the bead. Okay, and the same thing for this one, like that. And they're already speckled, like they're painted, so works perfectly. And yes, so I am super happy. Super happy. Looky guys, look what we created. Just something extraordinary. Isn't that really cool? Very 3D, very magical. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial and a how-to and elements and things that you could actually put together that in someone else's mind may not look very well, but to you looks wonderful. And that is what matters, guys. What looks good to you. It doesn't matter what looks good to someone else. It's what looks good to you and how you perceive it and how your emotions and your creativity comes out onto a canvas or a page. And so again, I will hope to see you guys again in the next video. Stay blessed, be creative, and don't forget to check out dots in the description box below. All right, guys. Bye-bye now.